Hi, my name is Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to give you a Solana price prediction video. I'm going to go over the charts. I'm going to talk about the new upgrade. I'm going to show you what's coming and what I see happening for the price action in the next few months and how I'm positioned to win. Full transparency, I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Please get yourself a financial advisor and do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. With that being said, let me jump on in to the charts. So first thing I want to talk about is Solana. It's powerful for developers and fast for everyone, of course. Great website, Sol. First thing I want to talk about is the bigger chart. I have this call here. I gave Solana, I was getting into Solana at $100. I put $100,000 in Solana at $100. I'm now up 147,000, a little more too. I've been adding here and there. This looks like it could continue. I see $302, a little flag here, and then a continue pump. Solana's just absolutely doing damage today, following exactly how it should be going. And we started it here. Stop loss could be moved to break even at this point at basically 180. And this is basically a trade that's about to rip to $300. Anyway, that was in my trading group, but let's go over kind of what I see happening for Solana in the future. So the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the weekly chart, even the monthly chart for Solana, and kind of look at the bigger picture. Monthly chart looks beautiful. It's about to close above all the candles, and it still has room in the stochastics. This will be the highest monthly close in the history of Sol. Sol's hit $300 before on the monthly, but it's always come back down. Sol has never closed a monthly candle above 237. If it closes September above this level, it'll be the highest monthly close in the history of Solana. Also, what I see happening here is a bit of a double bottom. Not perfect, but that's a double bottom. That has a measured move. The length of the middle to the neckline here, and then you swing that. That's setting you up to $371 Sol. So right off the bat, we see some just very basic TA on the monthly there to show you where we could be going. Secondary, I see this beautiful uptrend forming for Solana. That's a very strong uptrend. And then you can kind of see this topping out. Now, maybe we get a little bit of a high here on the weekly. There's a chance. And could we consolidate sideways like this Bitcoin rip, slow Solana down a little bit, and then when Bitcoin's ready to give it back, we get the huge pump? Here's one possible scenario for Solana, and then this whole leg would be the target. So bang. And this positions Solana to go to about $544. I see 6, maybe 700. A lot of people think 1,000. I just don't see it happening with the liquidity. Yeah, I don't believe we have that much money coming into the market, but maybe we get a super cycle and it takes a little longer than I figured. But look, this last leg took from September 18th of 2023 all the way to January of 2025, right? So huge move, beautiful pump, and again, almost took 2 years, about a year and a half for that to really play out over time. So our next year and a half, same idea. And so I play around with this. I'll take what's called the bars pattern, and I'll just see how that space moved, right? And you can kind of position it somewhat right here. Like, do we ended up breaking out like that to the upside? Possibilities. But I just wanted to show you the big picture for Sol and where I see it going on the weekly. Like, I see it making a monster move to the upside, and I see it headed to 544. In the short term, right, just on the daily time frame, I see it headed up to $300. That's its next big target, and let me explain why. Sol got above the 200 moving average. If you look at all the assets that do that, that ends up creating a massive catalyst to the upside. Sol made this beautiful rising wedge, right? It got very tight inside the rising wedge. And this is when I started looking at Sol, and this is when I could tell it was about to start to break out. This consolidation, this was a cup and a handle. That's a low, a high, and a higher low right there, suggesting you will pump off that level. So 175, psychological as it was also a key level to get in to Sol. I'm going to take this measured move from here. I'm going to position it here, and that's going to give us a target of about $308 Solana. So I see Solana getting ready for a big move. Will it consolidate again? It's likely. See how it's starting to pump? I'm looking for it to kind of do something like this and start to flag out on the daily. Couple side, because right now Bitcoin's about to pump again, and it looks like it'll take some steam from the alts. These will go sideways, and then the second Bitcoin slows down, the altcoins are going to rip to the upside. So I see this happening for Sol, and I see a consolidation up to 300. Where do I see it happening? Where is it going at the end of the rally? Looking at Solana, we can look at the entire market cap. At the last rally, we got to a high of about $71 billion. We've easily surpassed that, almost doubled it now at $135 billion, and we haven't even peaked in this cycle. there's going to be one more massive run up, and I definitely see Solana being able to capture some serious market share. I look at the total market cap in all of crypto, and when we look at that, that's important because you're going to see, well, how much will Solana capture of the total market cap? So right now, right, Sol is $135 billion market cap, and the entire market cap of all cryptocurrencies, everything put together, is $4.12 trillion. I see a move going up to $6 trillion, right? So right now, if it had $400 billion, it would have 10%. So right now, Solana has about 2% of the market, if you think about it, right? Because it has $135 billion of that $4 trillion market cap. If it was $400 billion, it would be 10%, and it's about a fourth of that. So it's about 2.5% of the entire crypto space. That's a big deal, right? I see that increasing as Solana gets bigger to 3%, and then I see this going to $6 trillion. So there you have it. I mean, $6 trillion to be a $600 trillion market cap at 10%. I see Sol going somewhere to a $200 to $250 billion market cap. That means a double up from here and a little more, which positions it somewhere between $500 and $600 a coin. Could it get to $1,000 a coin in a super cycle? It's a chance. I believe it will get there. We'll have a bear market pullback and it will rip back up. I believe over time you'll get to a $5,000 Solana, but it may take, one or two more cycles for that to happen. I don't want to go that far. I just kind of want to show you where I see it going. So I see Solana in the short term consolidating on the daily and pumping to 306. And I see it on the long term headed to $544 a coin, maybe $600, possibly $7 on a blow off top, but that's about it. So right now, if you miss Sol, it's going to lightly consolidate here, and there's a chance you can get back into Sol. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm looking at. Somewhere here between 240 and ride it up to 300, and the stop would end up being below that beginning of the flag at $230. Let the 21-day moving average come into price on the daily, and I could see Sol really, really do some damage. Another thing I want to talk about Sol is its major upgrade that it just had. It's a big deal. Solana just rolled out its Alpenglow upgrade, which dramatically boosts network performance by slashing block finality times around 100 to 150 milliseconds from 12 seconds. So that's a 100x improvement. This enables much higher transaction throughput, which tests showing capabilities of 100,000 transactions per second and paves the way for even greater scalability, like 1 million transactions per second in the future. The upgrade went live very recent, around mid-September, focusing on replacing older consensus mechanisms with more efficient ones like Votar and Rotor for better speed and decentralization without compromising security. While real-world sustained transaction per second is still ramping up, typically around 1,000 to 2,000 transactions per second currently, this positions Solana even stronger against the competitors like Ethereum. So this is a big deal for Sol. It's going to really position it to be stronger and to compete against Ethereum. You also want to look at your Sol BTC chart, and Sol has been beating up on Bitcoin. It bounced out this Adam and Eve, and now it's making a flag. Sol is going to make a stand, and Sol's going to take some more market share here, and I see Sol headed up. It's a big coin, so it's going to take a lot, but it's going to continue to rip. I'm well positioned in Sol right now. If you're not, I showed you how to do it on the daily, and that is my price prediction for Solana. Get ready for some massive movements in Q4. The charts are showing some explosive price action. Everybody, thank you so much for watching this price prediction video on Solana and some technical analysis. I hope you liked it. If you like what you saw, I know I go live every single day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I also have a live stream and content so you can see both, and I have a Discord you can check out. So I can't wait to see you. Subscribe to Crypto Lifer. Go to CryptoLifer.com to find out more about me, and I'll see you on the next video.